You're bleeding. Your hands are trembling. The sword feels heavier than it ever has, doesn't it? I can see the way your knees shake, the way your breath stutters, dragged, uneven, shallow. Your eyes are clouded with agony and regret, and for a brief moment, I wonder if you'll just let everything slip away and allow the darkness to claim you. Maybe it would be easier that way. Maybe it would hurt less to just surrender, to sink into that cold abyss where nothing aches, where nothing matters. But I'm telling you, don't you dare. Don't you dare give up. Not now. Not like this. I get it. You're tired, no more than tired. You're drained, exhausted down to your very bones. And no one sees it. No one notices the nights you've spent staring at a ceiling that offers no answers. No one knows about the wars you fight in silence, the demons that claw at your sanity when the world goes quiet. They see the mask you wear, the facade of strength, but they never see the fractures beneath it. They don't witness the moments you've fallen apart, fists clenched, eyes burning, choking on words that refuse to leave your throat. And the worst part? You're starting to believe them. You're starting to believe the lie. You're starting to think that if you collapse now, no one would care. No one would even notice. But listen to me, I see you. I see every scar, every bruise, every fractured piece of your soul that you try so damn hard to hold together. I hear every silent scream, every prayer that dies in your throat because you've pleaded for salvation so many times that it feels pointless. I hear it all. And I know, God, I know, it's tearing you apart. I know you've been betrayed, abandoned, spit on by the very people you would have bled for. I know you've been cut open by words sharper than knives, by promises that shattered like brittle glass. I know because I've felt it too. I've swallowed that same bitterness, that same hopelessness that seeps into your veins and makes you wonder why you even bother getting back up. You've lost so much, haven't you? Pieces of yourself you'll never reclaim. People who swore they'd stand beside you only to disappear when you needed them most. And it haunts you, doesn't it? The ghosts of what could have been. The echoes of laughter that now taste like betrayal. You've buried dreams with your own hands. Forced yourself to let go of things that once made your heart ache with hope. But here you are, still breathing, still fighting, and maybe, just maybe, that's the cruelest part of it all. But that's not weakness. And don't you dare call it failure. You call that survival. You call that strength. Because anyone can fight when they're winning. Anyone can wear a crown when the world bows at their feet. But to keep going when everything has been stripped away, to crawl through hell with nothing but shattered bones and bleeding knuckles, that takes a strength they will never understand. That takes a fire that refuses to die, even when there's nothing left to feed it but pain and fury. So cry if you have to. Let the tears fall. No one's watching. And even if they were, to hell with them. You've earned every scar, every tear-stained breath. Let the grief tear you apart if it must. But don't you dare stop fighting. Don't you dare let them win. Because every breath you take is defiance. Every step forward is an act of rebellion against the darkness trying to swallow you whole. And as long as there's air in your lungs, there's a chance to turn this around. There's a chance to rise, bloodied and furious, and make them choke on every time they called you weak. They'll tell you it's hopeless. They'll tell you that you're wasting your time, that you're a fool for believing anything could ever change. They'll point at your failures, at the battles you've lost, and they'll laugh. But they don't know you. They don't know what you've survived. They don't know what you've clawed your way back from. Let them laugh. Let them whisper. Let them think they know who you are. They've never felt the weight of 1,000 regrets and still found the strength to stand. They've never faced nightmares armed with nothing but a broken blade and a heart too stubborn to stop beating. So let them have their words. They mean nothing. They're just shadows trying to drag you back into the dark. But you've come too far to turn back now. You've bled too much, fought too hard. Even if you have to crawl, even if every step feels like a knife twisting deeper into your ribs, keep going, prove them wrong. Prove yourself wrong. Show them that a warrior isn't measured by his victories, but by the battles he refuses to surrender to. It's not about never falling. It's about how many times you can hit the ground, shattered and bleeding, and still force yourself back to your feet. It's about spitting blood, wiping your mouth, and snarling through gritted teeth. Is that all you've got? It's about embracing the pain, letting it sharpen you, harden you, until every wound becomes armor, until every scar becomes a testament to the fact that you survived. What was meant to destroy you, let it try, but don't you give in. Don't you dare. Not today. Not ever. You've got too much left to fight for, even if you can't see it yet. And if the world wants a war, then give it one. It'll never forget. Burn so brightly that even the shadows have to turn away. Be the nightmare they never saw coming. You are a warrior, so act like it. They'll try to tell you that warriors don't cry, that real strength is silence, is biting back the pain and wearing that stone-cold mask that says nothing can break you. But that's a lie, and you know it. Strength isn't in pretending you're unbreakable. It's in admitting that you're shattered and still standing anyway. It's in kneeling on broken glass, blood dripping from your clenched fists, and still daring to meet your demons eye to eye and whisper, "Not today." It's in the way your voice cracks when you scream at the heavens, demanding answers that never come, and still, you find a way to rise. So cry if you have to, scream if you must. There's no shame in it, there's no weakness in letting the pain pour out, raw and unfiltered. The only shame is in letting it consume you, letting it chain you down until you forget how to fight back. Don't you dare let that happen. You've bled too much to drown now. But I know it's hard. I know the nights stretch on forever, shadows creeping in like hungry wolves, leaving you alone with thoughts that cut deeper than any blade. I know you lie awake, fists clenched in the sheets, replaying every mistake, every failure, every moment where you fell short. And it's suffocating, isn't it? The guilt, the regret, the way it coils around your throat, whispering that this is it. That you'll never escape, that you'll never be enough. But listen to me. That voice is a liar. It wants you to break, to surrender, to believe that your scars define you. But scars aren't the mark of defeat. They're proof that you fought, proof that you survived wounds that would have destroyed lesser souls. They are a testament to every battle you faced alone, every night you refused to give in. Wear them proudly. They are armor forged in fire and agony, a reminder that you are still here when so many others would have fallen. The world isn't fair, and it never will be. Good people fall, monsters thrive, promises are broken, hearts are betrayed, and sometimes it feels like the more you care, the more you suffer. But the answer isn't to stop caring. It isn't to build walls so high that no one can ever reach you again. That's what the darkness wants, to turn you cold, to strip away the light until all that remains is an empty shell, too afraid to feel. Don't give it that victory. Don't become the monster they tried to make you. Keep caring, even when it rips you apart. Keep fighting, even when it feels pointless. Because every time you get back up, every time you refuse to be the villain they painted you as, you prove that you are stronger than the pain. Stronger than the betrayals. Stronger than the darkness that has been trying to claim you since the beginning. Maybe you think it's too late. Maybe you think you've made too many mistakes, crossed too many lines, and that redemption is nothing more than a cruel joke. But it's not. It's never too late. As long as you are breathing, as long as your heart is still beating, there is time to rewrite your story. The past is a graveyard. Let the dead stay buried. You owe it to yourself to stop digging up ghosts, to stop letting them chain you to regrets you cannot change. The only way out is forward, one bloodied step at a time, even if you have to crawl. Even if every part of you is screaming to stop, keep moving, drag yourself through the mud, through the agony, through the endless nights, because somewhere ahead, there is a dawn waiting to burn away all of this. But you'll never see it if you stop now. It's going to hurt. That's the truth no one likes to say out loud. Healing isn't clean. It's tearing open wounds that never properly closed. It's scraping out the poison until you are left raw and bleeding. It's facing the monsters in your mind, the ones that wear familiar faces, whispering lies that sound like truth. It's accepting that some scars will never fade, some pain will never leave. But you don't have to do it alone. There is an entire world out there, full of people just as lost, just as scarred, fighting their own wars in silence. Find them. Reach out, even when it terrifies you, even when every instinct screams at you to push them away. There is no shame in leaning on others, no shame in admitting that you can't do this alone. Even warriors need a hand to pull them from the abyss sometimes. And when they tell you that you are too broken, too damaged to be saved, laugh. Let them see what a soul stitched together with pain, fury, and an unbreakable will can do. Show them that a warrior doesn't need to be whole to be deadly. Let them see the fire in your eyes. Let them feel the weight of your resolve. The kind of strength that no amount of darkness can extinguish. Make them choke on every word they ever spat at you. Because at the end of the day, it's not about being unscarred. It's about being undefeated. It's about rising from every fall with blood on your lips and defiance in your stare, daring the world to try and break you again. You have nothing left to lose. They've taken it all. Your faith, your innocence, your trust. They've stripped away everything that once made you believe the world could be kind. So let them have it. Let them tear away the illusions, the naivete, the softness that once left you vulnerable. What's left? Something unyielding, unbreakable. What's left is a warrior forged in agony, a soul that knows the taste of ashes and keeps fighting anyway. And that terrifies them, because it means they cannot win. Not as long as you keep rising, not as long as you keep spitting in the face of the darkness with every ragged breath. So no, it's not over. Not until you decide it is. Not until you stop fighting, stop clawing your way forward with bloodied hands and gritted teeth. Don't you dare lay down now, not after everything. Don't you dare let the darkness win. You've survived too much to give in now. You are still here, and as long as you are breathing, the story isn't over. Make them regret ever crossing you. Make the darkness wish it had never set its sights on you. Who whispered promises they never meant to keep, who smiled as they placed the knife between your ribs. They'll try to pull you down, wrap their hands around your throat with words that cut deeper than steel. They'll remind you of every failure, every broken moment, every time you fell and didn't rise fast enough. But they don't understand, do they? They don't see that every scar, every wound, every piece of you they tried to break has only made you stronger. They don't see that the fire they tried to smother has only burned hotter. So let them come. Let them stand before you with their hollow laughter, their sharpened tongues. Look them in the eye and let them see what they've created. Let them see the warrior who refused to be buried. You are not a victim. You are not a tragedy. You are a reckoning. And if this world wants a monster, then show them one. Show them what happens when you take everything from someone and expect them to stay broken. Show them what a soul forged in agony and fire can do. Show them why even the shadows step back when you raise your head. Straighten your back, wipe the blood from your lips, lift that sword one more time. This is not the grave. This is the forge, and you? You are not dying. You are becoming.